Hey everyone, Shawn Clement here for Golf WRX, and we are with Dr. Jeremy Moody. Thank you once again for assisting us.
Pleasure.
Man, it's an honor.
Pleasure.
What you're going to realize, and we did a nice dynamic posture video last week, and this week I want to delve in on what the ideal width of stance is for a dynamic motion to the target, right?
Right.
And that's one of the things. We were doing a video series with you this morning for our premium channel, and every time I asked you to say, okay, let's see you do a fade, let's see you do a draw, your setup was always flawless. It was just phenomenal. Your width of stance is perfect, the way your feet are falling, and then your alignment, your ball position, you've really come into your own as far as that's concerned. So you're setting yourself up beautifully to deliver. So let's say we're going to do a draw. So we're going to be facing the camera directly here. So if you're going to do a draw, let's say from, your normal draw right here.
Okay.
So if you're doing a draw, let's say from green to red.
Okay. So I want to aim at red, which is just going to take me over here.
Perfect.
Ball slightly back center, crazy
Perfect.
closed face.
All right.
There.
So right away, let me draw your attention to the width of his stance. Notice it's not very wide, and it, for a guy his size, his height, it may look a little narrow, but it's actually really dynamically sound. So let's say you were going to take your stance and go way too wide.
Yeah. Goldilocks at the...
Exactly. So right now, if you wanted to, let's say, throw the club to the target.
I can't turn my hips.
Exactly. So in other words, it'd be very difficult for you to load up the backswing and to gather a nice backswing.
I can't turn.
And then if you want to go that way, wouldn't that back leg really hinder your ability to shift your weight and get into your target?
Yeah.
And by the way, a weight shift, you should never have to think about that. So show me something that's way too narrow. So if you were going to swing to your target right now, do you feel like it would be hard to contain your center of gravity inside your feet?
Yeah. For a full swing, yeah, it's hard. I feel like I'm on the outside very quick.
Okay, so as far as your finish position is concerned, show me that nice setup that you have again, that your normal setup. Good. So let's see you deliver into the green square and hold your finish. Stay right there. Good. So when you're finishing your swing right here, notice the foot is still flat on the ground. That foot is being pulled up. And at the end of the swing, even if you were to go all the way to the toe, notice how your knees are not crossing, right? So you feel like you can get to a nice finish position, a nice balanced finish, and not have to fall over.
From that stance, yep.
And now show me something that's too wide. So if you're trying to deliver to that green square, let's see that again. Do you feel like you're going to have to drag the back foot a little bit?
Yeah.
So if you feel the need to drag the back foot, you're definitely too wide.
Yeah, I'm holding onto my toe here.
Yeah, and it feels like it's a strain to get into there.
Yeah.
And if you were too narrow, well, then you would have to do like our feet together drill.
Yeah,
There's no way you could let the right foot come off the ground to go to that finish. Then you would definitely
I can't.
right?
Yeah.
So it would restrict your range of motion in the sense that you wouldn't be able to finish in balance.
No.
Now the other thing that I want you to notice is his feet are slightly toed open at address. So when you let your leg hang from your hip joint, right?
Yeah. It just naturally wants to hang.
Exactly. So the way your hips plugged into the pelvis is slightly open. Most people are like that. You do have some that are this way, like Eric, one of our teachers.
Yeah.
He stands square like this and has the biggest hip turn you've ever seen. It's gorgeous. So for him, he gets maximum range of motion from a square stance.
Right.
That's very rare.
Yeah.
For me, you'll see mine, it's actually more open than yours.
Yeah.
So that really feels like I can gather a nice backswing going back and gather a nice follow through coming through.
But you're not placing that. Your feet just go there automatically.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. Yeah.
And so, to try and bring my feet this way would restrict my movement very much towards my target.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I like about a martial arts punch. When you were getting ready to snap your punch towards me.
Yeah, even if I was starting here,
Yeah.
sparring stance is usually feet like this, because it means that I can get onto my open foot faster than if I was like this. I would have trouble. I got to make a lot of maneuvers to get here.
All
By
right.
the time I do that, you're long gone.
Right.
Or you hit me first.
Exactly. So you already start slightly open because it makes it easier for you to get into, and the amount that it's open depends on the target that you're hitting into.
Exactly.
Of course, right?
Exactly.
So your brain can do 12 million things per second. You know, if you go to the focus band, they've done their research.
Yeah.
And they say, well, the conscious mind can do about 40 things per second if you're on hyperdrive with 4 cups of coffee and everything else, and you're fully there. Chances are it's about 5 things per second.
Right.
Whereas your automated system is doing 12 million bits of
Yeah,
information
limitless.
per second. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So if you give it the right target,
Yep.
you say, okay, I'm doing a draw and I'm aiming there, releasing there, and then you feel like your setup matches the dynamic motion into that picture. That's what you're basically getting ready to do. So when we talked about the posture last week, we're talking about getting ready to heave a sandbag.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing with your foot position and width position. You're getting ready to deliver to that target, tougher from here and tougher from here as well, especially if you're on a slope.
Right.
So let me see a couple of more swings here. That beautiful levitating
Draw.
awesome. So look at the finish. Right now, wouldn't you be able to stay there for several minutes, no problem?
No worries.
So you can see how it finishes. Everything stacks up on top of that forward hip, forward knee, forward ankle. And the retraction, a lot of people say, I let that spin out so I don't hurt myself, or I don't, because doing something like this and finishing this way would start abusing your ankles and your knees.
Yeah.
Whereas you let it release. If you're slightly toed open and you got the right width in your stance, you'll find it very easy to get to the target and not abuse the body, not strain the body.
No strain, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks, Shawn.
All right. All the best.